Hi there. Are you having difficulties financing your education as an undergraduate student in college? Or are you overwhelmed with the stress that comes with college activities to the point where you now say, this university is after my life? Or do you now believe that school is a scam? Well, come with me as I walk you through the strategies that can help you maximize your potential as an undergraduate student in college. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about the strategies in which undergraduate students can maximize their potentials in college. But I'm not going to be doing this alone. With me today is an oracle, a recipient of multiple awards, a Nigerian genius, and a student who have broken so many barriers and have benefited from so many undergraduate scholarships. He's an amazing personality, and his name is David. Welcome, David.
Thank you for having me here. I'm happy to be with you today. My name is David Okenwa, and I'm a recent graduate of mechanical engineering from the University of Nigeria. I just graduated last year, and I was a recipient of a lot of opportunities during my undergraduate days. I was beneficiary of about 5 scholarships. I participated in about 2 internships. I was part of a number of organizations and led some, including served as the president of the Association of Mechanical Engineering Students. And it's built me for now and for the future. And I'm happy to share tips on how to maximize the undergraduate days with you.
And there's one thing he forgot to mention. He graduated as the best student of mechanical engineering.
Oh, that.
And he was also called the Nigerian Genius from a contest organized by Clintonnel, the Clintonnel Innovation Center.
Oh yeah, it was a great time. Yeah, last year we participated in. I led the team from UNN that at the Nigerian Genius competition, and we won. We never knew we would win when we were putting in our entry. So that's one lesson already. Shoot your shot, and you see when you don't shoot a shot, you never get a result. But then when you shoot your shot, you apply for things, then you get a lot of rejections, but a number of them will also go through, and you get better and better as you progress.
You can just imagine so much more that you can really achieve as an undergraduate student. Not many really know about this. So that's why we're here. And without further ado, we are going to be walking you through how you can maximize your potential as an undergraduate student in college. Seeing that there are so many students who pass through college with the orientation that college is all about going to boring classes, preparing for examinations, and just getting certificates that you might eventually use to land your job. That is, if there is, considering the recent layoff in the technological space. So you're not even guaranteed of that. But then there are a lot of persons who don't see college as a place where they can maximize their potential. But then there are still other students who have been able to prove otherwise. So I'm going to be asking David, who have done so much as an undergraduate student, even I myself. But before we come to my experiences as an undergraduate student with how I've been able to maximize my potential, I want to ask David how he has been able to maximize his potential and what we can learn from how undergraduate students can maximize their potential while in college. So David, over to you.
Thank you. I totally agree with you. The university is not a place where you just come and you study and you go with a certificate, but it's a place for all-round development. And I can compress this into 3. First is the academics aspect, which is the aspect like the major focus for school, and then self-development, all-round development as an individual to when you're leaving school, you are ready to add value to the society. You are ready to better the society. That is the second category. And the third, which is still very important, is the spiritual aspect, because that is the place where you lay the foundation for your life in that area. Some persons, when they are in school, um, they feel they don't have time for those extra activities and attending fellowships and church, as the case may be. But then afterwards, there's no time. You have time as a platter. So is the attitude you develop now, is the how you manage yourself now. That is how you carry on into the future. So those are three aspects. And those three aspects, three things. I feel three key things helps one to develop those. First of all is formal learning, lecturers teaching in class, going to examination, and I think that just contributes 10%. Then, second is the associations you keep, the people you meet, the company you keep, the friends you associate with. Are there people that motivate you to do more, or are there people that are not serious about life? I think those contribute 30%. Then the third is yourself, your determination, what you want out of college, out of life. And I think that contributes 60% to make up the 100%.
Yeah.
So knowing how to effectively manipulate these areas and knowing that you contribute more to getting this out from your undergraduate, I think it helps a lot. And we'll be seeing how we can navigate this.
When you talked about 30% of your success in college is boils down to the relationship you keep. I'm in full support of that, because when I came in, I realized that he has gotten 3 scholarships already, and before leaving, he got up to 5 and won other awards. So that really influenced me, and from there, as we speak, I've already gotten 4 scholarships already. And beyond that, when I came into college, I was never a writer, and he himself, like in the introductory that he told you about when he was introducing himself, how he won an essay contest, and I myself I also won an essay contest. That's all from influence. So the association you keep, it's really important in college. And another thing he talked about is self-determination. You must be determined, you must be hardworking, you must be focused, you must know where you're going, and you must be ready to go all in, irrespective of the results at the moment. Because being able to get a number of scholarship does not mean that I didn't face any hurdles, or didn't mean we just got them in a platter of gold, or it doesn't mean that we just applied for just the 5 that he got. That was the 5 he applied for. The truth is, we applied for many scholarships that we didn't get, but then we later got all these ones that we've shared with you now. You understand? So there are times of challenges and difficulties, but then determination, which accounts for the 60%, is one of the major things that will help you maximize your potential as an undergraduate student.
So talking about association is very important because humans are social animals. Last year I did a presentation on human relationship, and I read a lot of social studies and social experiments that have been done about association. And you see that even association is a critical factor for success. There was a scientist in the 20th century, just after the First World War, Lewis Termine. He carried out an experiment. He brought about 1,470 high IQ students. They have the IQ of Albert Einstein, around 140 to 200, 1,400 of them, and he tracked them all through his life. And at the end, towards the end, he picked out a sample of 730 of them and tried to see how they fared through life. And from his own judgment and from what society thinks, about the top 20% of them were successful.
Wow.
The middle 60% were middle class. Then the bottom 20% were not successful. And he was puzzled, he was bothered. Why? All of them had very high IQs, and he believed that IQ is the major factor for success.
Yeah.
So he thought there would be the leaders in the science world, there would be the leaders in
politics,
government, in every aspect. But
Yeah.
just 20% actually fitted that, and 20% failed woefully. So he tried to check the records and check how he tracked them all through their life, check their mental abilities, their their physical health,
Yeah.
and they did not see any difference in those things. And where it saw me a major difference was in their association. The people that were in the A's, they came from middle class and rich class families. So their families, they have books, they know the value of education,
Yeah.
and those people ended up doing excellently.
Yeah.
Then majority of the C came from homes that are poor, that their parents were dropouts, don't know the value of education,
Exactly.
and they ended up badly. So he was puzzled by the result of the experiment. That your association, your community, the people you have around you,
Yeah.
are a critical factor for success. And even weighs more than someone's IQ and innate abilities. That tells you how important your association is.
Your environment.
They can either challenge you when you see them doing things. They can either challenge you to go beyond what you normally do,
or draw you down,
or pull you down. If you are the one that is just, if you are the one struggling to do well about them, they'll definitely dampen you and pull you down. So we must be very careful of our association and make friends with people that will challenge us to go beyond our comfort.
So a great man once said that if you are the best in your circle of friends or peers, it means it's time for you to leave that circle. Yeah. So if you are the one that they used to say, hey, the boss, Otogu, know that your growth is going to be very, very limited. So you need to look for a circle where you can learn from others and grow from those who are ahead of you. Yeah, earlier on, you made mention of 3 areas that can influence your ability to become an exceptional student or maximize your potential as an undergraduate student in college. And one of those areas is your academic work, your normal academic work, your interaction with lecturers. Can you throw more light on that?
Yeah. So I think it accounts for 10%, a crucial 10% though, because that is the first thing you are coming to school for to achieve. But if all you achieved in school is just to come to school and attend classes and study at night your school books and pass your exams with A's and come out to the first class, and that was all you achieved, then I feel you achieved very little.
Wow.
But that is still very crucial. So still do that. Still, I did that. I attended classes and I prioritized classes. I try not to miss classes because I found out that when I attend classes, it helps me to understand better when I study.
Yeah.
I study for exams. I study hard for exams. And I try to do excellently when I write my exams. And by the grace of God, I came out in flying colors. With the first class, that's the best in life. So that's a crucial 10% which everybody should pursue. But on the other hand, if somebody now goes to the extreme, you are a student pursuing entrepreneurship, you are in school pursuing other things, and then you end up just failing completely in school and graduating with a pass, or not even graduating at all. And I feel you still fail because you missed the crucial 10%, the crucial part of it. So having that school work, what you really came to school to do, contributes a lot to your success as a student afterwards.
So that means the definition that people have for who is an exceptional student is not limited to academic work, because when we hear that guy is an exceptional student, what comes to our mind is this guy is a first class student, is a potential graduate, or is a summa cum laude already.
Yeah.
So that's the narrative we have about exceptional people. It's just academics. So, but with what you just said now, it means being an exceptional student is more than just having good grades.
Exactly. So I'm in the midst of a lot of persons that are first class students and still doing well in other areas. First class students still building up skills, tech skills, building up writing skills that would aid them in life. First class students still leading organizations. So being a first class student should even give you a boost in other areas and not dwarf it. So you first class student in terms of academics and other areas, you are a third class student. That is a failure. So but excelling, the goal should be to excel in all areas of life. you are growing to really better the society. You are doing exceptionally in college, still building you up to better the society, and combined, that makes you an exceptional student.
Wow. So, how about a scenario where we have a student who is, let's say, a second class lower student, but then he's already confounding, or she's already confounding two technology company or just a technology company, and she's doing well in that area or he's doing well in that particular area, yet in his academics he's just more of like an average student. Will you see call that kind of student an exceptional student?
Yes, that's an exceptional student. Well, in life there are priorities, a school of preference. Sometimes when one is winning so much, the others may suffer. But that's the narrative that I am not for. That somebody that is co-founding that two companies cannot do well in academics.
Yeah.
So she's an excellent. That person is an excellent student. Yeah, it's an excellent student. Yeah, but can also excel and do well academically and still co-found a company. I think that is best.
Best. Okay. Wow, this is really, really amazing. I hope you've gotten the new definition of what it means to be an exceptional student. So being an exceptional student is not limited to just doing well academically. You can actually do well academically and at the same time also do well in other extracurricular activities. Oh, thank you so much, David. I'm really, really enjoying this. How are you guys feeling? How are you enjoying this video? Please like and comment in the comment section below. Please share your thoughts on how you feel about this video. Sorry. Moving on to the next area that we talked about, which is the one that accounts for 60% of your success in college, which happens to be the self-determination. You said it accounts for 60% because I would love to know that, and I believe our viewers would love to know that this one accounts for 60% self-determination. Can you throw more light on that area?
Oh, thank you very much. So self-determination is very important, and that is why I think it accounts for that much percentage. The other three areas are interlinked, and being determined, being driven. I've seen a lot of students that just wants to do well and then they don't study. They're not motivated to study, they're not disciplined to study, and that goal ends up in shambles after just 2 sections. So your self-determination matters a lot because it affects you. You have the ability to change the friends you keep, your association. You have the ability to be serious with your studies, to affect the first 10%, and it boils down to you at the end. It boils down to you setting clear goals and working hard towards it. Setting clear goals and working hard towards it. Some persons just plan and plan and plan and overthink things and everything passes them by. No. While some persons just act and act, just rush to 9th class and without planning, without strategizing, and they end up falling in gutter. No. But plan, make plans, set high goals, set high targets, and work towards it. As students, you must develop bias towards action. When you see opportunities, don't start thinking, we have this, I need to study for this test, the deadline is near, before you know it passes you by, you have not applied. But you just see it, just open your system, you start looking at the fields that you need to fill, start arranging them. Before the deadline is submit, before you know, you have received a notification. And I've gotten stuff like that. Nigerian Genius last year, I made the application on the deadline day. I shot the video on the deadline day. In fact, the 9th.
I shot that video for you.
Thank you. The 9th, we just moved the phone, arranged the wall, shot the video and submitted. And I was invited and we ended up winning it. So have a bias towards action, be motivated, plan. And you, with your determination, can affect all of that things. Yeah.
That was really, really good one. So now we've seen that self-determination accounts for 60% of your success in college. There's still one question that somebody might be thinking. So somebody might be asking that, how can I manage my time? Because speaking of all these things, if you are to be a student who do well academically, who will do well in other areas. For instance, I myself now, I am a technical writer and I have 2 remote jobs working for 2 international companies, and at the same time still prepare for essay competition because I'm also an award-winning essayist, which happens to be the same thing for you. You won an essay while in school, and you were a climate activist at the same time, and at the same time the best student of mechanical engineering. How were you able to manage your time? Because somebody, they will be asking that, now that we've established the fact that an exceptional student is one who excel all round, both in academics and in all other areas, like even in business. The funny part of it is I'm also a technology co-founder whose company have won several awards. Like I'm the chief technology officer of Mionia. We won an energy award last year. So how can a student actually do that while in school?
So, but if I'm to speak to time management, is one very important aspect of a student's life.
Yeah.
Especially a student that is serious about personal development. So for me, the point that I was really choked up with a lot of things was in 2021, September 2021 to be precise. I was just entering into final year. I was just elected the president of my department. I was a volunteer at Mock-up. I was assigned a project supervisor. I had schoolwork to do and a few other things that I still had to do that period. I just was notified during that period. I was notified of preparing for interview for the essay competition I won. So it was a very critical period for me, and the idea was to manage yourself, manage your time, and you're able to do well in those things and not get burned out. So some time management tips that I would share that I used was first of all to prioritize. I sat down and which of these things are very important to me. So for me, even though I'm involved with many other things, my academics is still very important to me, and that stays at the top. So if there's a test tomorrow and there's some other thing, most likely I will prioritize the test. Most likely I will prioritize the exam, because later on in the future you can do a lot of other things. But once you write that test and you do not do well, or you write that exam and you do not do well, there will be nowhere to come back to it. So you prioritize. I prioritized, and then I work with chunks of time. So I find chunks of time, chunks of 3 hours, chunks of 4 hours, and do one thing. So multitasking is a no-no. Multitasking, trying to do many things at the same time, affects your overall productivity. So I'm during that period of time, 3 hours, 4 hours, when I'm working on one thing. So if I'm studying a course, I study for that period. If I'm making an application, I make it for that period. If I'm working on a mock-up task, I just try to work on it there. I'm working on something as a new president settling into power. I just work on it in that period and try as soon as possible to even finish it if possible. And then I bundle distraction. So during that period, my phone, I keep it away. I don't like working with phone. If I want to do anything, I do it on my system. So I keep my phone away because I find it easily distracting. And I bundle distraction. So it's not every time you start checking WhatsApp and start checking messages and start checking this and start checking that. Just one time, for 5 minutes, go through everything, respond to what needs to be responded, and move on. So I employed those, worked as hard as I could while still resting.
Yeah.
Because resilience is not pushing to the extreme, but also resting,
Striking a balance,
bouncing back and coming back stronger the next day. So I did those, and most of the things, everything went well. At Mock-up then, we were writing newsletters and we continued writing. I was leading the newsletter team and we continued writing newsletters. My tenure as the term president went quite well. We brought in and introduced a lot of novel programs. During my tenure, we organized mentor-mentee sections, organized CV and cover letter writing sections, organized sections with our alumni, organized cleanups as a environmentalist, organized cleanups, and a lot of other things. And also, I've graduated.
You can just imagine what an undergraduate student is doing.
Yeah.
Not just academics.
So those are the tips. Prioritize, minimize distraction, bundle distraction, work in chunks of time, and then I said no to a lot of other things. Yeah, very important. So why I have those things, those are things on my plate. If any other little urgent task also come up, I'll take my time and ensure I say no to them than accepting them and then facing and then disappointing them.
For me, that's really, really awesome. Thank you so much, David. And that's very true. Priority. You get to set priorities. You already know the kind of goals you want to achieve. For me, in terms of time management, one of the major things I do is daily planning. So, and my daily planning starts in the morning. So when I wake up, I pick a piece of paper and write my goal for the day. So it's when you get to write your goals for the day. So maybe if I have a job to deliver that day, and let's say I have a particular course to study, so I get to plan it that morning and know exactly how the time I have to allot to each of these activities, even including when to do what and when to do this. So like I can say I'm going to be spending 2 hours for just it talks about a chunk of time, like it works with chunks of time. So for me, that daily planning is very, very critical, and that's where I get to allot time to do various things. With that kind of time management strategy, I get to do not just jobs, but at the same time do well academically and excel in other areas, including co-founding a company even as a student and preparing for other competitions like writing competition, essay competition, and what have you. That makes an exceptional student. You made mention of the spiritual aspect as an area one needs to develop in order to maximize their potential in college. Can you throw more light on that area?
Thank you very much. I feel that is a very important area.
Okay.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
And I believe that is a very important area for me. And depending on the faith inclination of the viewers, that is a very important area to develop, because don't just go about building up other areas while leaving what should be your roots,
your foundation,
core
beliefs. Yeah.
There like that, just unattended to.
Yeah. Then another factor we can still consider that is hindering many students from maximizing their potential would be limiting beliefs, because you see these days most students, they say school is a scam, especially in the Nigerian educational system. So people feel my coming to school is almost a waste of time and a waste of my life. So what can you say about that?
School is a scam. What's that? Well, that's those general notion going about on social media that if you are not careful, many persons now hold on to it. School is not a scam.
Supported.
Maybe they say Nsukka, Bill Gates dropped out from school and they are doing very well, but that is a success bias. It's because a few persons were successful.
Yeah.
There are a lot more persons that dropped out of school and they are suffering now.
Exactly.
And a lot more persons that started companies that actually completed their schools, got MBAs, did PhDs. There are a lot more. So most people that started companies that are successful are not school dropouts. We're just using the success bias to judge that. So coming to school teaches you, and going through the rigorous process teaches you how to work towards a goal in a limited time.
Yeah.
If you don't learn anything, that is one. You meet people, your classmates that will be leaders of tomorrow. The president of tomorrow started from college.
Yeah.
You meet people, you learn how to express yourself, how to speak, how to write. Those are important things that if you really pass through school, those are important skills that you build. So school is never a scam.
Okay. Any last words for our viewers?
Thank you. So my last words for our viewers would be to aim high. Don't limit yourself if you're in school or in life generally. Aim high, make plans, and work towards it. Have a bias towards action, and you end up glorious and maximize your potential.
Wow. Thank you so much, David. You've heard it. Aim high. They said when you aim at the sky, if you fall, you land on trees. Or you aim at the tree, when you fall, trust me, you are landing on the ground. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. And thank you, viewers. Please drop all your questions in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and share this video. You can also turn on the notification bell to get more of this content. Thank you, and God bless you.